This is Elizabeth Clare Brewington with Discover Brightside, the video podcast and network. And as we are in the design season, getting ready for the holidays, I am so delighted to have Sarah Walker, who is the principal designer of Nuance Interior Design. With over 2 decades of experience, she has led the design and development of multi generation family compounds and large private estates, bringing vision and functionality together for a grand scale. For 7 years, she has directed the design and build out of 142 Nordstrom retail locations nationwide, blending luxury, brand identity, and architectural precision. Her work has been featured in Luxe, Forbes, Dwell, and 40 national and regional publications, earning recognition for her timeless aesthetics and her transformative approach to design. And now she's on Brightside. So, Sarah, we've discovered you on Brightside. So, why don't you share your story and how you got here?
Absolutely. So it was a funny story. When I was 12, I went to a youth group career day and met my first interior designer and absolutely knew that that was what I wanted to do. And so I was really fortunate to be able to have a roadmap of where I wanted to go very early on. And so I got my degree in interior design, business, and art history from an accredited design university. And then I've been an advocate of continued education ever since and really honing my skills, traveling, having just a really wonderful experience with the new technology that comes out, materials, the handcrafted artisan work that we're able to see from a global perspective more than ever online. Just been really inspired by the beautiful things and incorporating them into our clients' homes. And one of the things that brought me to specialize in wellness specifically was in my 20s, I was in a severe car accident, and the traditional, typical methods that the doctors prescribed didn't actually help very much. And so I discovered a lot of what we consider alternative um, treatment types, things like light therapy, saunas, steam rooms, and really fell in love with how that can transform people's lives and their longevity, their quality of life is so important. And our clients are affluent, busy people, often running companies and these family offices, and they want that for themselves and their families so that they can have the best life possible. And so we've incorporated that into our designs as well.
Amazing. Wow, that was some accident, 20 years old. Wow, I'm so
Yeah.
glad you're still here. Um,
Yes.
I know. So design meets emotion, and we're doing a lot with emotional intelligence this month, and prosperity. So tell us about your brand and how do you connect design with emotional well-being, and how do colors and textures and spaces influence the feel of a home?
Recent studies have really shown us that our environment, especially our built environment, is one of the biggest predictors of our emotional well being. And so, homes more than ever are being recognized by medical professionals as a place where you can rejuvenate, you can create a sanctuary in your home that's healing, that can be medicinal. And so, one of the key ways that they found to do that is with something called biophilic design. And so, when you think of hospitals that have a butterfly garden or a rooftop garden or courtyards, it's really because the science shows us that that's a way to fast track healing. And so, taking that research that they know works really well for patients in hospitals or treatment facilities and bringing that into our own homes is what we consider biophilic design. The love of the outdoors is what it literally means, and the love of nature. And so, when you think of having the impact of natural light in your home and having colors that bring the outside in, things like natural wood, stone. You've got your beautiful marbles, you've got your green walls, or even faux plants, flowers, things like that. And what it does for your mood, it's because your brain is wired to connect with the outdoors and to calm itself when it has that connection in place. So you'll actually see a significant drop in cortisol, blood pressure, heart rate when even just looking out a window or having that natural light or those natural materials surrounding you. And so one of the ways well, there's lots of ways we incorporate that, but one of my favorite ways are those retractable window walls where it opens and blurs that line between the inside and outside. And you can really feel the difference with that indoor outdoor living. One of the things it does for that's really important for our family offices is it lowers their stress, but it also increases productivity. It's very healthy and it's great for our immune system to have that natural light that's very healing, but also having those authentic materials like the stone and the wood and the textures that are reminiscent of nature. Even art is just a really great way to incorporate that. Um, and and that does then lead, if you're more productive, to prosperity and that emotional well-being because you're able to regulate your emotions and those biological responses.
I think that's so true because I lived in New York, and prior to that, I lived in Bombay, India. And nobody realizes, but when you're in an urban environment where there's lack of greenery, rooftops become so important. And
Mhm.
of course, if you have, now I live in North Carolina with much larger spaces and larger homes. And you're right, your whole ambience makes a difference on your health, for sure. And that comes to my next question, which is designing wellness, something we talked about prior to this interview, about having a gym in your home, or having a pool, or having more facilities for sauna. And so how do you bring wellness into homes and transform them into a more wellness center kind of home?
Absolutely. So one of the things we do is really tailor it to our clients. All of our homes are incredibly custom and unique, and that's because each occupant is very unique and has a different approach to wellness particularly. So one of the things that we ask them is how do you want to relax? How do you want to exercise? And how can we incorporate that into the home so it feels not like we've just added on a room that's a home gym, but that we've actually incorporated in every layer. So one of the ways we do that is with the spa-like amenities. So definitely the home gym is an easy way. But what about having it be versatile or creating a space there for yoga, for meditation, maybe a recovery room where they can have someone come in that is a personal trainer, that's a massage therapist, that can do the hair and nails. We also have the contrast therapy, which is really popular in Europe, where we have the cold plunge to the hot tub, and going back and forth is really healthy for some people. And then the steam sauna, the dry sauna. One of my favorite things is in the primary suite to do a steam shower that has the chromotherapy, which is light therapy. It's a full spectrum LED. And what they found is that different colors of that light actually target different responses. So, like red is great for collagen production, another color is great for respiratory healing. So, if you were prone to allergies or asthma, inflammation, all of these types of things that will help you recover from injuries or sickness quicker, help with arthritis, or we had one client with Parkinson's disease. And so, really, just how do we meaningfully impact our clients' lives so that they don't have to leave to have those amenities? They can do everything in their home. These steam showers have the aromatherapy so that you can have your favorite scent that's going to ground you and help you feel your best morning or night. And then we do circadian lighting. And why that's important is because if we mimic the sun with the lighting in the home, and we have it be, soft and warm in the morning, and then maybe a little brighter and whiter during the afternoon, and then warming up and softening towards evening, it's shown that it's better with our natural rhythms. We're not feeling like we're in an office workplace environment. We feel like we're in a really safe place that's connecting us to nature. And then it helps us when we go to sleep that we actually have restful sleep. I know so many of our clients are stressed and they're busy juggling all the things, family, travel, business, and sleep is so key. So if we can just change their lighting, they don't even have to think about it. It just happens in their home automatically with a smart system. They can recover and sleep and rest better. So all of these things really impact the wellness of the home. Another area that we focus on is sustainability. And for some people, sustainability is kind of a nice to have. But for us, everything in our 3,000 square foot showroom in Seattle, Washington has a sustainable story. So the cabinets are painted and stained and have glue that's formaldehyde free. The paint we use is low or no VOC. And the flooring we use, the carpet, all of it's non toxic. The tile has recycled content. And what that means for the clients is that they have a non toxic home because so many of the materials that go into our homes are surprisingly unregulated. And they do have toxic chemicals that lead to a thing that we call sick home syndrome. And this has causes respiratory issues. It causes brain fog, fatigue, headaches, and even cancer. And so, what we want to do is really make sure that our homes that we're designing for our clients are a sanctuary from the way that it feels, but also from the chemical content that's going in. So there's lots of layers of wellness. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Let's go now to luxury homes, and let's talk about it, because especially after COVID, more of us are spending more time at home. We're running our offices from home. And when we talk about generation spaces with multiple families, um, we would we would how would you design a luxury home for, yeah, that
Yeah. So with luxury homes, the customization is the key point. The customization and tailoring it to the needs of the client is absolutely vital because they have a specific way that works for their lifestyle, their routine, how they are taking care of their families, themselves, their business. It's often so intertwined. And so tailoring it to them, making everything bespoke and custom is a key area of that. Another thing that we prioritize is those amenities that we talked about, and not just the spa pieces, but also if they have an art collection. So many of our clients are collectors and they need a place that's a gallery that's got the temperature control, the light control to protect their investments. These are tremendous assets. Oftentimes, we do climate controlled and specially lit garages for their car collection, or they have like a cigar room that they want to do, or a library. All of these special rooms allow them to have places that they can enjoy and that celebrates their unique tastes and style. Another thing that we do is high quality materials. And that doesn't mean that everything has to be gold plated and, you know, hand tooled, but it does mean that we're selecting materials that have a meaning to our clients. So maybe they traveled and they have a place that they love that has great family memories for them. We want to incorporate that. But the high quality materials mean that they're making an investment that's meaningful in their home, just like they're investing in the other aspects of their lives. and they're getting high quality things that are durable, that have longevity, so that they're not having to then undo maintenance, remodel sooner than they planned. These things are meant to last for at least 20 years. They're heirloom quality pieces. They're furnishings, they're tapware, even the plates that we select for the clients are intentional. There's a meaning, there's a purpose. It speaks to the client's taste and style. It's never my style. That's so important to me as a designer. I never want to impose my style on the client. So, for example, we did a family compound in California recently that was an authentic French country farmhouse. So, very beautiful stonework and limestone and marble that we imported from France. And it really speaks to their travels that they went all over Europe finding beautiful inspiration for their home. And we wanted to honor that in as authentic of a way as possible. So it actually looks like it's a couple hundred-year old farmhouse from France. We have another family compound that we did where it's much more contemporary and it's made for multiple generations, multiple homes on the property with a central location for them to meet and vacation together with several generations. So it's really fun to design these spaces that are going to be used for a really long time and create lots of memories. And that's so important to us when we're designing luxury is thinking about how these spaces are going to be used across multiple generations and multiple decades. So those high quality materials that are unique, that are not something that they're going to see in their neighbor's home is really important. And just things that are beautiful. There's a thing that we study called neuroaesthetics, which is really how the brain responds to beauty. And what we found is that having a beautiful space, whether it's, a symmetrical vaulted ceiling or the art collection or furnishings that are just lots of beautiful textures and fabrics, it also can calm our nervous systems and release stress. It helps us build community because we feel safe and we're ready to reach out and connect with those around us, whether it's our family or our friends. And so we want to connect with those people in a sanctuary like environment. And so that's what luxury means to us is it's not just about pretty things or fancy things. It's really about creating a space that's meaningful to our clients, tailored to them, and that uses kind of the science that we've found, smart home systems that mean that there's less mental load on what they're thinking about. For example, the drapes open automatically at a certain time and close a certain time at night. Just all of the ways we can make their lives easier is really important to us. And then the privacy part. As a designer, we work with a lot of high profile families. These are family office people that have multi-million dollar businesses or billion-dollar businesses, and discretion is very key. Their privacy is utmost importance to them. And so having a trusted network of artisans and partners that can come in and help them is another thing that we like to bring to the table. Hear you. I can't hear you.
Site is, and your website is, how can people reach you?
Absolutely. So our website is nuanceinteriors.com, and you can see our portfolio and our process there, some neat projects that we've done, and also the ongoing projects. You can find us on Instagram at Nuance Interiors. Also, feel free to email us. My email is info@nuanceinteriors.com. Our phone number is on the website, and we'd love to chat if you're a family office or a large estate owner looking to build or renovate. That's super exciting and something that we'd love to help with.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you so much. And I will bring Elton on next. You have been discovered on Discover Brightside, the video podcast and network. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, write us a comment, tell us what you think, and tell us about how you're designing your home. We'd love to hear more about what you're doing. Thank you so much.